we're rest. We're the rest. We pray at night, we flush at night. We're the rat. I'm the giant rat. That makes this cold opening sing.
Sure it does.
I'm the giant toad that makes all of the rules.
We'll see what kind of podcast we'll get ourselves into.
I have... What the fuck?
I'm not like one person like that.
No, I get the joke.
I know, that's the best part. I'm just like...
It's alright. I honestly like the rat, your awakening about Rita 40 rat better.
Cold opening. Cue the
There we
music.
go.
Cue the music. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Living The DreamWorks, episode 13, where we talk about every single DreamWorks movie, including this one that is an Aardman film that's actually genuinely a DreamWorks movie, and then
Yes.
it never happened again.
Yes. But
We'll talk about why that is. But first, let's introduce ourselves. I am The Wash.
I'm Millicent Bystander. No, Random Bystander here.
I am Claire.
And I am Kiria Nebrius.
Hey,
we have a guest!
Yay!
We got a new guest here, Kiria. Welcome aboard. What made you decide to join this fucking podcast?
I fucking love this movie, that's why.
Great.
I'm like, bro, you're the
my
only
goodness.
defender here, let's go.
No, like, question, so how did it come to be? Like, how did you find out about us? How did you get here? I know why, because I know I was there when it happened, but, like, also, tell the audience.
Claire ruined me.
Great! Perfect!
Perfect.
That's all we need to know.
This is because this is an audio podcast. I do have to note that we are Random and I are the only humans in this call. We're
surrounded by VTubers.
The VTuber takeover. It's finally starting.
Oh my god, VTubers are taking over the podcast. You know what? It's fine. If there's any episode to do that with, it's flushed away.
Well, I mean, it is a very known fact that VTubers are stinky because we live in the sewers.
What?
I live in the ocean, thank you very
knew
much.
it!
Don't insult my fish.
I remember seeing like a stream where somebody had built a Wallace VTuber model and played themselves as Wallace in Skyrim trying to collect all the cheese. It was a great
Someone sent me the... Is there a VOD of this available? I need to watch this.
There absolutely is a VOD of this.
If only there was like a rat one where Hugh Jackman rat, I forget his name. Roddy, there it is. It's been a while since...
I just watched it and I already forgot his name.
Okay, it's not just me.
So
cool.
It's not your favorite, clearly.
No!
How we like to start these off is show off our history with the film and talk about like any stories or anecdotes on how we found out about Flushed Away or watched Flushed Away. So, anyone have any history with this film? I know our guest does.
I will go first, mostly because there's very little, but there's a fun joke at the end. So, I had actually never seen Flushed Away prior to this. I had also never seen Curse of the Were-Rabbit either. The only Aardman movie that I had seen before we started this podcast was Chicken Run, and now I've gone out of my way to watch a few more of Aardman's products. Oh, well, I lied. I watched Pirates. I watched Pirates before this, but I've watched Babylon since. I've watched Shaun of the Sheep for the first time. I've watched the Wallace and Gromit's Cracking Contraptions, or whatever it's called.
Did you say Shaun of the Sheep?
No, Shaun the Sheep!
I said Shaun of the Sheep. No,
I thought you said Shaun of the Sheep.
Have you seen
That's
Farmageddon
right.
yet?
I did. I
You
don't
did.
know why I keep saying... Well, it's Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, it's Shaun of the
Yeah,
Dead.
that's why.
But it's fun fact. I changed history. It's called Shaun of the Sheep now.
Ugh.
I watched their documentary. That was really good, which we'll talk about what they had to say about Flushed Away in that documentary. I've just been kind of on an Aardman kick. I'm really liking their stuff. So, obviously Flushed Away had come next, and I watched it. Me and my girlfriend watched it. And afterwards, I had mentioned to my roommate that we watched Flushed Away for DreamWorks, and they were like, Flushed Away, which one? I'm like, oh, the one with the mouse rat that goes to the sewer. There's like, slugs and toads everywhere, blah, blah, blah. And they were like, no, I'm not remembering it. And then the other day, I happened to have my phone on me, so I was like, no, I'm showing you, even if, everything I said hasn't stirred any memories, maybe if you see a picture, you'll remember. And they were cutting their dinner, they had like a fork and a knife in their hand. I showed them, and they dropped the fork and the knife on the ground. They were like frozen. They were like, this awakened a memory.
Yeah.
They didn't elaborate any further.
This is one of those movies that just kind of get buried.
And it's a tragedy.
And because my roommate didn't elaborate further, I will not elaborate any further. Who's next?
My first experience with this movie was actually before I even saw it. We were on vacation, and we were at a place that happened to have a drive-in movie theater. And inside the drive-in movie theater, I remember walking into the concession stand, and there was a giant poster of like a rat, of like one fat rat and a skinny rat like hanging onto the toilet flusher lever, and it just said "flushed away." I'm like, what the fuck is this? What is this? It looks ugly. I don't get it. But it intrigued me. It stuck with me, and then like I did end up going to the theaters, and I remember very little except, and this is something we can maybe talk about, except that like the marketing leading up to this, like you could have like that like guy that kicked him out. What's his name?
Sid?
Sid?
Sid, yeah. That Sid, like based on the marketing, you would have thought Sid was like his sidekick or something, instead of a guy who shows up in the first 5 minutes and then the last 5 minutes. Like it was very weird, like how little they were showing like the female co-star in this movie. But that's all I can really remember. I don't think I saw this. No, I don't think I saw this again. But like, I do remember seeing like clips of it. And it's like, oh, this is really funny. And do I still feel that way? I don't know.
We'll find out.
That's for you to know and for us to find out.
Yeah.
I have some experience, but it has a story to it. So I remember watching this film as a kid. And I was like a fan of Wallace and Gromit. So my parents showed me this, and I really liked it a lot as a kid. I love telling this story. It's my favorite story to tell about college. Flushed Away helped me win money. That is not a joke.
What?
So there's some moments in Flushed Away where Roddy gets called a peeping Tom, and their grandma just shouts, "Tom Jones!" That grandma, right? I was always like, who's this Tom Jones guy? And then they play What's New Pussycat at the end, and I was like, oh, that song's pretty good. I like it. Who's this Tom Jones guy? And I was like, oh, he did What's New Pussycat. He did It's Not Unusual. That guy from the Carlton Dance, from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Eventually his music was used in the Salt and Pepper Diner sketch with John Mulaney. Lots of good stuff. And a lot of people loved Tom Jones, but not a lot of people knew about him, or at least not a lot of people I went to college with. But I knew about him, and I liked his music. I thought it was great. Years later, I'm going to convention for campus activity board thing where a bunch of people in the campus activity board have to like go to a retreat for a bit, and we see a bunch of acts and stuff. And one of the things they had was a trivia night giveaway thing where you could win money if you got the questions right. There were 3 contestants. Whoever was up there could win, but if you didn't know the question and someone in the audience knew, you could take their spot. And there was this girl who like was so smart and knew every single trivia question. Like she got up to the point where even if she got all the rest of the questions wrong, she would still win all the money. It was like a good like $200-300, which for me is good as a college student. And then the next question is guess the artist. And they play da 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 da. It's not unusual. The girl doesn't know who the artist is. The rest of the contestants don't know who the artist is. No one in the audience knows who the artist is but me. And then I'm just shaking, undoubtedly waiting for them to call my name, just desperately waiting for something to happen. And then when the TV host is like, yes, who is the name of that artist? I turn into the flushed away grandma. I just shout, Tom Jones! Get up there! It doesn't matter how I play, because despite barely even participating after that, I still win like $300. So thanks to Flushed Away, I got some extra chocolate and money that day. So thank you, Flushed Away, for giving me money. And for that, I will always love this film deep down.
When you said Tom Jones, it like awakened a memory. I'm like, I have heard this story.
You have?
It's a great story.
Are you okay?
That just hit me like a way.
Wow, Random, you should tell that story more often.
Yeah.
I practice in the shower.
It doesn't.
Well, honestly, that's where you practice.
It won't work on most other people. I will say this: it's because I love Flushed Away way too much.
No, I know. No one else is gonna be like, "What the fuck is Flushed Away?" But you know.
And I'm like,
You all know.
oh.
Once you calm down, your history, man.
Oh, okay. So my history with it starts with way back, like a week or two before it even came out. My grandmother got tickets to an early preview of it. Needless to say, we saw that movie like 9 more times after that early preview in theaters.
9?
Yeah, I liked that movie way too much as a kid. It got to a point where I had like for Christmas one year, like no one knew what to get me, so they were just like, I don't know, get her a copy of Flushed Away. 9 fucking Christmas presents later, I have my 9 DVD copy of Flushed Away.
Oh my God.
My mother had held on to these, and like when this come up, like, hey, can you send me a copy? And she sent me all 9. I get the. It's a problem. This has been like a curse on our family.
Do you still have them?
I had her send me at least one of them. I think she could only find 4 or 5 of them.
Oh my God.
Only 4 or 5.
Only 4 or 5.
I think I accidentally, like, I think I watched like the others way too much, and they like got ruined. This is not the first time this has happened. We burned like 26 copies of Toy Story on VHS because of me and my brother.
Me too. I destroyed my VHS copy of Toy Story. Well, this has been a hell of 15 minutes, and we haven't even talked about the movie yet.
Oh,
well, what better place to start than with the plot synopsis?
Kiria,
our guest.
Do you want to say the plot synopsis for Flushed Away, or like the premise?
I don't know. I'm not the person to ask. I keep losing it every time the slugs come on screen.
I can do it if you want.
Flushed Away is that slugs are on the screen.
Do you need anything else?
Roddy, a rich rat from Kensington, gets flushed away by Sid, and he has to get back home with the help of Rita. But also, there's evil toads that are stopping him, along with mobster rats and French frogs, and they have to do it before the World Cup halftime show. Otherwise, they all get flushed away. And that's good.
I will say I do like that ticking clock that like, oh, we have to do it before the halftime show when all of Britain flushes their toilets at the same time.
That was good.
That's good. That's good.
Foreshadowed too.
Yeah, like a lot. It's. I mean, you think it's just a dumb running joke, but it is foreshadowed a few times.
And like the payoff for it is so funny, but I don't want to get to that point yet. Okay, so yeah, that is the premise of Flushed Away. Thank you very much, Random.
No problem. Also, there are slugs.
There are slugs.
And they are great. They're the only some of the only pop culture references in the movie, and they don't age terribly.
Well, no, I disagree. There are actually quite a few like pop culture references throughout the film, but
most of them are
they're a bit more subtle than the slugs.
Yeah. Yes.
The slugs are just like it's like if you're watching a rap movie and then your friend like pauses and then shouts straight into your face, "Don't worry, be happy," and then he unpauses the movie.
Oh, and don't forget, we have to let them know that there is a sad moment, so we'll have the slug singing "Lonely." I am so lonely. Even the characters got sick of it. They shut the window on them.
And that made me very upset.
Normally, we start with the main character. I think we can make an exception today and start with the slug.
Okay, I'm gonna start. I hate the slug.
Hey, yo, they made plushies. I'm ordering one.
You know what? I'm something I don't mind the slugs too much. They got on my nerves, but I don't know. They are better than the minions. In a world of minions, I don't mind the slugs as much. Do they get on my nerves? A decent amount. But you know what? It could be worse.
Like minions have they have a second joke. Slugs they just sing pop songs. They're not endearing.
They also scream whenever they see a rat at the beginning of the movie.
I couldn't.
That's very true.
Okay. This is not just a flushed away thing. It's just like that cliche of like two characters like screaming at each other. Like, stop it. Get some help.
Get some slugs.
Get some slugs.
I don't think they're the worst thing in the world. I mean, they're probably
the worst thing in the world, of course. I'm saying I don't like them in this movie. I'm saying
I don't like the slugs. Well, at least slugs aren't as bad as like homelessness. You know?
That's true, Random.
You know what's worse than the slugs? Getting flushed down the toilet.
Yeah, that does. I can't
stink.
say I've experienced it, but like slugs. I don't think there's any of the songs I liked where they sang like. The only one I kind of liked with the slugs was when Hugh Jackman was singing also.
Yeah.
That's the only time.
I don't remember when that was either.
It was the apology song, I think.
Yeah, it was the apology song.
Oh.
And again, it's because of Hugh Jackman, and them chiming along was cute. It was fine. But again, if it was just them, I'd probably be like, meh. But like the fact that Hugh Jackman is Hugh Jackman as Roddy, it was okay.
One thing that I have to give the slugs is that when you look at the soundtrack, it's like, oh, who did the music? There is Tom Jones, Billy Idol, Tina Turner, stuff like that. And then you see artist, the slugs.
I didn't even catch
But the Tina Turner one is not even like a slug cover. It's just Tina Turner, which is so weird.
She just says they just put Tina Turner's voice in
lip syncing.
Like at least with Lonely and Bob Marley, they do the high pitched version.
Yeah, they do the chipmunk version of it, with it's another reason why I don't find them endearing.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I didn't like them either, but it's not a defense. It's just there were a moment here and there where they made me go, that's good enough. They're not devoid of value to me. I hate to make the Minions comparison because it's so obvious, but that's something that's devoid of value to me, so I'm gonna bring it up. The slugs, and I don't know. At least if you're trapped in the sewer, yeah, the slugs are probably gonna be annoying. Probably. It could just be the Aardman bias because I've been on such an Aardman kick recently. I don't know. There's so many things it could be, but I didn't like them. I'm definitely closer to where Wash is than either Random or Kiria, but I didn't quite hate them, or even I dislike them, but not that much. And I do still think it's funny seeing Billy Idol, Tom Jones, the slugs. That is genuinely funny to me.
Yeah,
I don't really have much to say about the slugs other than what I've said.
The other thing is that they just don't pay off. They just keep butting their head in.
Oh wait, they do make a stupid joke. High five! Oh.
That was in all the marketing, like all the trailers for the movie. And it's like, it's such a funny joke, like, if you, like, haven't seen the trailers in so long.
Yeah, I've seen the trailers too much to, like, judge on that.
Okay, I haven't seen that in a bit. I will say, made, like, the corners of my mouth turn up a tiny bit. Because it had the resemblance of a joke.
Oh, I was like hurting myself laughing.
There are some jokes that I was like screaming laughing, but we will get to those.
We'll get to them, especially with a certain duo. I think you know who I'm talking about.
Oh yes. Oh, I'm glad.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
To the Ratmobile.
Oh my. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. I mean, do we want to jump way ahead, or do we want to talk about? I'm on Wikipedia. Roddy St. James.
Yeah, let's talk about Hugh Jackman Roddy, if that's all right.
He's nothing but Hugh Jackman. That's all he is.
Literally all he is.
They even had a Wolverine joke in there, which I appreciated.
Yeah.
I appreciated that.
Yeah, I was like, interesting. I mean, he's fine. He's just Hugh Jackman, like you said. He's just like Hugh Jackman as a rat.
So okay, it's not. This isn't like Ants, okay? I'm actually going to disagree with you. I think it's a little. It's not like it's Woody Allen as an ant. Like this is at least like a very neurotic character, a very like closed off, antisocial, scared. Not very good at asserting himself. It kind of makes sense for the sort of premise, like mirroring against Rita.
Yeah.
I don't know how much I really liked Roddy, but I don't know if that's because of the character, or that's because, like, especially for like the first few minutes, I was like, this is so like mean. This is way meaner than I was expecting it to be.
What do you mean? Like the fact that he like just hangs out by himself?
No. Like as soon as I already said his name, Sid.
Sid?
As soon as like Sid shows up, I was like, oh, this sucks. And then he gets like flushed down the toilet, and it's like, this sucks. But it's like it was like once like other characters started showing up, and specific other characters especially, that I started to enjoy myself more. I don't know how much I really got into Roddy like by himself.
I don't know. Like, first off, it just shows how alone he is in the whole montage of like
that I like
dancing with myself, which again, great music choice by the way, just for the lyric alone.
Yeah.
On one hand, yeah, he's mean to Sid, but also
no,
the rat just popped out of your sink.
No, I'm saying Sid is too mean.
Oh,
I'm not saying Roddy is too mean. I'm saying like the film is mean to Roddy.
Look, Sid gets his comeuppance in the end.
I'm saying the film is just like again, like, you know, we see this montage, you see him like just like by himself, you know, he's saying like good night, and like nobody answers, and he's like kind of like lonely about that, and then like immediately there's just this character that's like punching me in the face multiple times, and like and
flushes you down the toilet.
Flushing him down the toilet. I was like, why? This is not funny. This is so mean.
I mean,
I kind of liked when he got into the sewer and he was all panicky. I thought that was you know, you got to see, and I know it's not what you're talking about. The stuff with Sid. I know. I'm just saying to keep it on Roddy, because I'll just be honest, I didn't like him. But I did like when, you know, he was first going to the sewer and he's, you know, this pompous rich rat, so to speak. Had to fend for himself. Like,
yeah,
I know. He looked at the slug looked at him, and they shouted. I know, but I kind of liked it here just because that's the kind of character Roddy is.
Yeah, I agree.
And it didn't make me laugh, but when Roddy and the slug shout at each other and the slug slowly goes away, I was like, oh, whatever. And then when like 5 minutes later, the slug was still shouting and running away slowly, I was like, okay, that's not bad.
I like Roddy a bit. He's used to the pampered life of Kensington, and then he just gets stuffed in here, and he's like, he doesn't know what he's doing. He's a little cocky about it. He's clumsy, literally breaking everything he can by accident.
And on purpose.
And on purpose.
Yeah.
Ruby. It's not real
which
Ruby.
Which is another part that there's just like, what the fuck, Roddy? Like that was the point. It's like, nah, you're being mean, Roddy. I know what you've been through, but you don't have to put this on other people.
Look,
Well, the thing is, like, when he broke the ruby, for example, he's like, he's not trying to be mean. He's like, it's not a real ruby, see?
and look,
No,
And then he's like,
but no,
I
but
should have
like
done that.
to her to just crush her dreams right in front of.
But they're not real dreams.
and look, you get isekai to
They're not
trashy
real
New
dreams.
York. 'Cause I-
Wait, what? Well, hold on. What was that, Kiria?
and,
What was
like,
that?
Look, if you get isekai to trashy New York, you would also be mean.
It's
He would also break rubies, yeah.
It's trashy London. Excuse me.
Trashy London.
Let's be fair, it also has the vibes of like middle of downtown New York.
Yeah, no, that's what I got. It was like, how the British see New York, the sewer.
Yeah, that's
Well-
exactly what I was thinking.
I mean,
Like, you got everything. You got, like, the Doomsdayer. You got, like, the cop.
Yeah, those are
like,
those are city things. Those are London things. The
They
body.
are. It's not the people as much as like I don't know, just like I know it's a London thing, but we're not British.
yeah, we're not British.
Yeah.
And DreamWorks,
I
Katzenberg.
Yeah, I won't grant that that probably they had to like adjust some stuff. Where like Katzenberg was like, no, too British.
Too British.
Well, and I'll get to why they had to adjust to that.
Also, Jeffrey Katzenberg is like the main person in charge of DreamWorks at the time.
The
And
Jeffrey.
he's a pompous asshole.
But
So-
boy, does he have good story.
What do you think of Roddy, Kiria?
Kiria,
Roddy, what do you think of Roddy, Kiria?
Honestly, he's nothing until Rita shows up, and then I'm not paying attention to him throughout the rest of the movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, I get it.
like he should be more of a vessel, and the problem is that like he's just kind of like
The plot happens to him.
the plot happens to him. That's the main thing. He is very little agency for him, which just kind of blows. It's just making me. And that's the thing. Like the whole. It's not like this is not a chicken run situation where like they had a story and then they had to graft the romance into it. This was from the get go. This was planned to be the premise was the African queen with the gender roles reversed. With like African queens, like the exact same thing of like pompous woman having to like cross the like an African river with like a down to earth like a boat captain, and they fall in love through the adventure. It's a good film, by the way. But like this was from the get go. It was this premise, and like they just didn't like flush it out nearly that
Flush
much.
it out. Flush it out.
Flush it out.
Flush it out.
Flush it
That's
out.
what I thought I heard you say.
I heard flush.
I heard flushed.
Yeah.
Good to know we all have our priorities straight.
Yeah.
I get the one moment with Roddy that I kind of liked. And I mean, when they got into things a little later in the movie, I wasn't as enthused, but it wasn't even subtle. It was just like a feel good moment. Like he's getting ready to go to bed when he's on the ship with Rita, and just out of force of habit, because he's used to staying in every night, he goes good night, and she says good night back to him, and you just see like this huge smile on his face.
That moment, okay,
and then he kept saying it like good night, and she's like go to bed.
that
was
moment
so
I
sweet.
genuinely love. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
That was what it needed to be. Like it really needed to be more about like how much of a loner he is, and like being like thrown into this situation. And
It didn't
not
really
nearly
feel,
enough
it didn't
about
feel like it didn't feel when they tackled that at the end. It didn't feel earned, may be too rude of a way to say it, but it didn't feel like there was enough time devoted to it to really focus on that angle.
Yeah.
Like Rita going there and everything that Rita had to say about, his experiences and her comments and stuff. That felt earned. That felt earned. But with Roddy, not quite.
Yeah, we can get to Rita, but I definitely prefer like especially like the Rita's backstory. I preferred her much more. It honestly felt like it should have been Rita's story. Really.
Yeah, but Rita, they had to start for some reason. They had to start above the. Well, I know why they had to start above the sewer, but they had to start above the sewer, and it would have been really cool if it was one of those movies where the protagonist like changed throughout. We don't get enough movies like that, but it would have been really cool, I think, if it like started as his story, then as he got more accustomed to it, became like Rita's, and by the third act, it kind of just became theirs, like collectively, maybe.
I think they were trying for that because if you remember, like when he finally comes back home, he's like suddenly like like way assertive. Just
Yeah.
like move. Get your ass
and
off.
it works. And it works. He's like, "Oh, you can't do that to me. Move." Okay.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
oh shit, okay, like it's we're getting somewhere. It's still not earned. But
Yeah.
it's,
But it.
it's-
If it was, it would have been really good.
yeah, that's the thing. Exactly, that's exactly it. Like if like in isolation, that's really good. But like the problem is that there was not nearly enough built up to that to really make it like sell.
I don't know. I still enjoyed him. I also like how he got more comfortable around Rita. Like, there's a moment where he's with his family, and everyone just like the whole family is like mesmerized by him, and like all of them like him except for the one conspiracy.
Well,
conspiracy brother.
random.
Who's-
You gotta understand. I heard the conversation, all of it.
Oh God, the misunderstanding.
Oh.
Well,
it was
hey! You know what? It doesn't dominate the whole film,
No.
and they at least make jokes about it.
I was
and they
pleasantly
resolve it quickly.
surprised when it happened, and then it was resolved in 5 minutes.
Yes.
Yes,
I hated it. I was very pleasantly surprised at how short it was.
Yeah.
Could you bet? Give Flushed Away that credit
Yeah.
because movies would drag that for like an hour.
Shrek.
Yeah.
Shrek, exactly. They did a whole misunderstanding. It lasted like a good
Like
20 minutes.
yeah.
Like, I like how this is solved by being like, you twit, no one listens to him.
Yeah, that was fun.
And then he doesn't think for a moment. He's like,
go.
oh. Yeah, that's all you needed to do, and it worked. And you know what? You even had a moment where Rita was like pissed off at him, and you know what?
Yeah.
Justified.
Yeah, there were a lot of moments where it was just like, yeah, why are you being this much of a dick?
Yeah, they talked to each other. They had communication, and you know what? They even tried a little bit of a lie reveal thing too. Trope with the whole like, oh yes, let me meet your family, and it's immediately like ditched and like ditched because it's like she figures it out right away that you're alone, and then they hold do the thing like Sid, my brother Rupert, and then they like it turns out
They know each other. There's like, hey Sid, how you doing?
Sid, no, yeah.
Hey Sid, how you doing? I'm alright with all you. I don't remember how he sounded.
Rupert,
Rupert! No, that's
you
not-
twit.
Yeah.
It does a good job of taking the tropes and being like, fuck those tropes. Let's do something else. Let's do something funny.
Yeah, this is we've talked about this with other Aardman films. This is definitely something where like that's one of those scenes where like they work through it and they're just fine tuning it to make it exactly as funny as it has to be.
Yep.
Like,
All
you
right,
try to
let's-
do this fake family thing. No, it falls apart
No.
immediately.
Do we have anything else to say about Roddy? Or do we want to move? Well, okay, I know what Kiria wants to do, but do we have anything else to say about Roddy? Or do we
No,
wanna move on to Rita?
I was about to say, I'm not sure if it's with Roddy. Maybe another rat.
I should have kept that to myself.
That's not even what I meant. I meant like, oh, I know you want to move on. That's what I meant.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I knew what you meant.
Well, thank you,
I'm sorry.
Rita.
Yeah, I
the
apologize.
character in this movie. You want to talk about Rita, Kiria?
Rita, yes.
She was
Rita.
my awakening the sporty redheads, and that's about
Welcome to the DreamWorks confessionary where we admit all of our sins.
Look, I know people who were attracted to the female to the fish from fucking Shark Tale. This is like low on the totem pole.
Oh God, we
I
don't
thought
talk
you were
about.
gonna say the people that are attracted to the slugs. That slug had fuck me eyes.
All right. Kiria, this is very important. Kiss, marry, kill. The slug, Rita, and Left Frog, sure.
Well, kiss Rita, kill the slugs, marry the frog. I'm not.
Perfect.
Perfect, great. I love how it took you all 5 seconds to think of that. Rita, what did you think of her as a character in the story?
Honestly, she was fine. Like, this is one of those movies where the characters aren't the focus. It feels more like the jokes are.
Honestly, like I almost said Remy, Roddy, and Rita. They work well off of each other with like jokes and like banter.
They're better than Shrek and Fiona. I will stand by this.
Ooh,
Shrek
I
and
don't think
Fiona
I
in
can
the
agree.
first one. In the first one. The first
I
and
still
the
don't
third.
think I can agree.
I'm here to cause chaos. This is my favorite dream.
I will say.
I am not affiliated with this person.
So that's a steep thing to say, but
yeah.
I will say they are a lot of fun.
They work better than Z and Princess Bala.
They work better
than Woody Allen Ant and Sharon Stone Ant.
They work better than Will Smith Fish and Renee Zellweger Fish.
I don't remember. No, that movie was fun. Jack Black doesn't save that movie.
No, it doesn't. No, he doesn't.
No.
But honest to God, I do like. While I won't compare them to Shrek and Fiona, I do think that Rodney and Rita and their banter work well together. They do have a good way of just like making like really like having the dialogue flow, working together. They do have some form of chemistry going on, but it's mostly like just like I don't know if it would have been romance personally. I think that comes out a bit left field for me.
Yeah.
Like I know it's obvious they're writing it, but at the same time, like it just feels like
it all happens like the last 5 minutes of the movie.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, you really needed more time, and you really needed to like these characters to actually like each other, and they just don't have those moments.
Yeah.
Like from the very first time they meet each other, like Rita literally tries to frame Rodney, just frame him and like stand in the way to be like frozen by the mobsters or whatever. Just leave him for dead, and it's like. What the hell?
And then Roddy's like, "Here's the diamond. Help me get home."
Oh yeah,
Please?
yeah. But it's like, oh, here's the diamond. No, it's not.
Oh my god, it's fake.
It's fake.
I would just more like the point where he's like, I helped you find the diamond, so can you please take me home, Mr. Toad?
So I'm just thinking about like that grabbing that stone, and then Mr. Toad puts it on the Infinity Gauntlet. Finally! Oh.
Everything evenly balanced as it should be with my poopsie whoopsie toads.
Oh.
They'll all be diddy weddy.
Can we have a puppy?
No.
No, you cannot have a puppy!
We're getting a puppy?
No puppies!
Let them have the puppy!
We'll get to that.
Get your kids a puppy.
We'll
All right,
get to
we'll
that.
talk about the best part of the movie later. Okay, we'll do it later. But like, Rita is great. I like the interactions with her. She's very down to earth. She knows what she's doing. She's been around the area a lot, and also I like her family. There's a lot of them. Like that's the joke, but there's also like distinct ones, like the stupid teenager conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
There's Shocky. Oh, I love her.
There's the one very, very like large one that's like roller skates back and forth on their houseboat. So the entire thing is swaying back and forth because of this kid that's like completely clueless. And like
there's
how
so much visual gags.
Oh,
It's
and it's
great.
great. Like at the end where he's on the dad's shoulders.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I loved that. That was so cute.
Yeah. The dad as well. I really enjoyed like him just being like his introduction is that like they built like handholds for the door so he could like roll through without banging his hands. Great. That's another thing where it's just
so
like
great.
like that little Aardman like flavor, or it's just like this thrown in a tiny thing. Nobody acknowledges it, but you notice it and you're laughing now.
It's great.
I enjoyed Rita's backstory. I enjoyed the family especially. I feel like going back to like Rita should really be like I feel like this really should have just been her story because it's more personal to her. Like it's like Roddy just wants to get the fuck home. But of course, like we learn, maybe he doesn't want to go back home.
Maybe the sewer was the home he loved along the way. I don't know.
The home he needed along the way. Yes.
I don't know.
Promise
It's
you'll be good to the kid. I promise. Okay, flush me down the toilet.
Yep, that's all it was. Yeah, she was fine. Again, they just work well together. That's my big thing.
They're not a romance. I don't think their work is a romance. Which is again, it's weird because like the whole thing was supposed to be a romance, and I think that the main problem is that they kind of lost they ended up making this like mafia plot that was way more fun than anything.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
I think
anything.
Please! Please, can we talk about that?
Before we just get to that, like, I just have to stress, like, man, it's they should have just like put all their eggs into that basket. Like, they you know, like the film, like it was changing all the time, but like when you have that, it's just, come on, it's right.
Is there anything else you want to say about Rita, Kiria, or anybody?
Why'd you single me out?
It's because you're the guest.
Sure, Bucko. That's the safer work version we're going with. Yeah.
All right, fine. Let's talk. We want to talk about first the raccoons, the toad, or the frog. Which one are we talking about
We
first?
have to fit Sid in here somewhere.
Oh, I forgot about him.
Yeah. That's how I am with Sid. I forgot about him.
We gotta get him out of the way.
Yeah, fine.
He dies at the end of the movie, right? They get a cat.
Oh yeah, he's dead. He's so
There we go.
dead.
Talk about.
It's like Texas size offer dead. You're not gonna get that, but like it's okay. But yeah, he's a jerk, and he's that's it. He's just a jerk.
It's not even like I love to hate this guy. I just hate him.
He's just there. He's so just there.
He's so like awful, and it's just like it's just the mood so badly. Like I said, like when I started this, it's like, what the hell? Why is this so rotten all of a sudden?
The only thing I'll give him, and I mean, this is just a funny joke, but the fact that like he's the reason why Roddy figures out the master plan of all of Britain flushing their toilets, like I gotta give him some credit for that.
Time. That one made me laugh. My sense of humor is weird though.
He's like maybe one of my favorite characters in this movie, but I also have a friend who's exactly like him.
Okay. So if you know a Sid, you're gonna probably like Sid.
Cockney accent and everything. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I can't say I know a Sid.
I wouldn't want to know a Sid.
I don't really have anything else to say about it because even if he had a whole personality change, he's barely in the movie.
No, and
he's
again,
literally
like
just a plot device.
He's on the poster. Why is he on the poster? He's there for 5 minutes.
Less than that. I think it's like 4 minutes 30, or like it's 4 minutes 30 or less. Like it's in the 4-minute range.
Yeah, like as soon as they flushed away, first he gets flushed away. Like that's it. And then we see him at the very end
dying.
He's
there's the phone call. Don't forget, like
there is a one phone
call.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I kind of wish they did more with him.
I kind of wish he wasn't there.
Yeah, I mean, it's the monkey's paw. It's like, oh, give us more Sid. We get more Sid.
But then, how is he gonna? Roddy is smart enough to not fall on the toilet. How is he gonna get down there? Otherwise, they could have done it. They didn't really need him. But also, I get why they added him as a plot device.
Like, I don't. Were they trying to do like, Roddy is so mean for trying to flush down Sid? Like, no, this is like a creepy stranger.
Yeah,
that's just like ruining his life. Like, what the fuck?
And it's like, how did you get here? I don't know. Like, they couldn't even bother coming up with an excuse to actually get him out of the sewer.
No,
but
I'm saying that though, like. No, it doesn't have to be this way. It's what I'm saying.
It doesn't have to be like this.
It doesn't have to be like this. It's not like this. But like they're saying, like, oh, how else would he have known? Find another way. This isn't it.
Yeah.
This isn't it.
But you know what is it in this movie? What is extremely it in this movie?
The
mafia. The Toad Mafia with the rats. Every villain in this Toad Mafia is great. Like, they are the best parts of the movie. Who do you want to talk about first?
Well, Kiria can decide.
I feel like we go with the rats because we go right into the frogs. We go right into the best part.
Let's talk about the rat too. Oh my god, they were so great.
Andy Serkis and Bill Nye. Bill Nye being like Sean's stepdad. Like,
yep.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Keep your legs straight when you hit the water. I kept my legs straight.
God damn it. I already referenced it earlier, but like the fucking thing where Spike is like, bingo! White is like, Scrabble! Enough game! To the Ratmobile!
Danger is my middle name. I always thought your middle name was Leslie.
I always thought it was Leslie.
I got the bomb like a Japanese flag.
That's why I'm wearing mittens.
Why I wear mittens?
You idiot! Henchmen don't wear mittens.
We got little hands. Oh.
I love it, and then there's just so many good things about them. Even to the end, where it's like, there's a happy ending. I like unhappy endings with violence, and then he gets hit. Oh, are you happy now, Spike?
They're small, but they're lethal weapon. These are. You got your mother's hand.
They are just so. They are just the.
They're my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna agree. We've had, there's so many, like, henchmen in film, but just like the idea of just having, like, this giant dope.
Yeah.
But, like, I mean, that's only, I'll say slightly more than half, but still, like, close enough to half of the puzzle. He's only so funny because Spike is such a neurotic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you just have this calm, like, hello.
I'm an albino rat.
Oh, that was like something about, he's like a lab rat who got tested on with shampoo, too.
Yes! He got tested on shampoo and lost all his fur.
That's
a
good.
cute little backstory they have with him, and it's great.
Oh, but I love that, like, obviously he's a lab rat
everything you need to know.
Like, built, so obviously it's like, oh, they injected him with steroids and stuff like that. They did all these tests, but, like, he was still just used to test shampoo. Like, why do you have to do this?
Like, they could have easily made, like a creepy, like, secretive name, but no, he's just, like, a giant idiot.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think Spike is more of an idiot than...
Oh, he is!
No, they're for each other. They're stupid for each other.
Oh, yeah,
Of
this is the
course.
kind of thing where it's like, it doesn't matter if there's gay undertones or not, like I ship.
Oh. I could definitely ship them together.
Yes.
You go up to a gay couple and it's like, okay, which one's the Spike and this one's the Whitey?
Exactly.
Oh my god.
And even in the action scenes, they always have like something funny to say or do. And again, they're not even the most competent henchmen, but they're just funny to be around.
They give incompetent henchmen a bad name. Like, they're really bad. But they're so
really funny.
Yeah.
Honestly, we could just talk about the quotes every day, but honestly, one of the best highlights of the film.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Absolutely. And I know, Wash already put up the actors, but the delivery of these lines is like,
yeah, absolutely.
Unbelievably good.
I would not have pegged like Bill Nye to be this kind of character, but he was perfect. I don't know if it's the certain direction or if he just brought this in, but just he just sounds so calm.
Yes, exactly.
He's not that bothered by everything like Spike is.
Yeah, he's like kind of a gentle giant almost, and then Spike is like the tiny hyper schizophrenic. It works so well. Like all of you, I mean, when both me and my girlfriend Nico were watching this, we really weren't laughing that much for most of the movie, but every single time they were on screen,
absolutely.
Gawping.
They were also the origin of the running gag that will now haunt Random is Roddy saying I'm just an innocent bystander, and Spike somehow took that to say Millicent bystander.
And I'm like, and it's not one of those jokes that just happens. No, that throughout the entire film, to the very end, where the whole crowd is cheering the name.
Millicent.
And I'm just like, well, fuck. That's my nickname for now. Anything else anyone want to say about those two wonderful rats?
They're funny as hell. Okay, if you don't want to watch, if you somehow don't have an hour and a half to kill, go on YouTube, and I'm sure there is going to be a compilation of like flushed away, but it's just Spike and Whitey because
Yes.
they're the highlight of the whole damn thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They are arguably the Yzma and Krunk of this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh man.
it's probably like, Yzma and Krunk. That's like a huge bar, but
Yeah.
that's pretty close. That's pretty close.
No, even in tone and personality with the
it's like
two.
it's Yzma and Krunk if Yzma took more of the abuse somehow.
Oh my god, poor Spike gets like
Oh my God,
destroyed. And meanwhile,
Well, that's the thing though, because he is so small, and at least compared to Whitey, so skinny. Like his body can be contorted however the animators want.
yeah. I mean, the worst that happens to Whitey is he gets frozen or like falls in the water. That's
Yeah.
it. Meanwhile,
No, but he put his foot down. He did exactly what he needed to do, and he didn't get hurt.
yeah.
Oh.
I feel like we were talking like a lot. Kiria, do you have anything else to say with the?
No, I think y'all covered everything. They're the highlight of this movie, above and beyond. Like, I love the slugs, like as like a thing. They're fun when they show up. These two are funny throughout the entire movie.
Yeah,
like,
Yeah.
Even when they weren't on screen, my brain would just like pull one of the jokes back and be like, "Hold up, that was really funny." Oh,
Which frog do you want to talk about first?
I feel like we saved Ian McKellen frog for last.
Yeah.
yeah.
we should.
Let's talk
All
about.
right,
Let's talk.
Do you want to know which frog I want to talk about first? I want to talk about the mime first.
Yes!
Oh my god! Specifically, like, okay, when they're on the boat, the mime was funny. I was getting a lot of laughs out of that. But at like the end of the movie, like the climax, the mime during that, good lord!
Oh my god! Just like mocking the entire thing.
Yeah.
Mimes are never funny except this one occasion.
Also, I love how when he does, he breaks character in here. Ow!
I forgot about that.
Oh, it's great. But LaFrog, LaFrog and his like troops, like his troops honestly don't get too much to shine, other than the mime, of course. But like they have like a joke of to action, we surrender. That one.
No, the other action.
Like
It's the entire thing is we hate the French.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But okay. I know a lot of times throughout the podcast we've said like, oh, Aardman and their British humor, but the fact that it's Europeans making fun of Europeans, like I think actually makes it a little funnier.
It's sort of touching into the Toad, but I just really like this. Just like when like Toad is like bringing out he brings out his memoir and LaForge's like, oh, not the scrapbook.
Like LaFrog is just so fed up with him. He's like, I'm just here because he's family.
Yeah, that's literally, he literally says he's cuckoo, but he's family.
He's family.
Like that makes the whole movie.
It just says everything you need to know that they're related. Like,
and started to like jump back to the mime, but like we didn't get to talk nearly enough about him on the boat.
No.
Him with the cell phone. That is like that is brilliant. That is such a smart gag.
that's so good.
I like that.
My
I love
favorite.
that for Toad too, though, because it's the villain monologue at the end.
Yeah.
It's in the best way possible, but it's so hard to take seriously because he's
Yeah,
on the
and
phone. There's the mime. When he goes to turn around, he's like, "Oh, I'm turned around."
That's such a clever sight
Yeah.
gag.
And like the mime is like trying to like act out his things, and I think he said like danced at one point, and the
That's
mime
of
just
Stop
deception.
dancing.
Enough dancing.
he's taking his part way too seriously.
Hey, it's one of the most he's more memorable and funnier than LaFrog.
Oh.
I'm not kidding.
I don't know. Like the one joke that I always like I think back to from the trailers is the LaFrog joke where it's like the take 5 hours for dinner thing. Like that was also in all the trailers, but that one is like my first thought of this movie. Like after the slugs, the slugs are always first.
I really like that one too. Is what was we leave immediately. But what about dinner? We leave in 5 hours.
In 5 hours.
Like, especially like the exaggerated walk back in the frame.
Yeah, tongue.
Oh, it's great. It's so great.
Like if you're gonna deal with frogs, that's how you deal with frogs.
That's how you deal
Just
with
make them just way too much.
I will say, out of all of them, LaFrog is the most competent.
Yeah.
I feel like he's the only one that ever gets anything done.
Yeah.
He's like the smartest character in this movie besides Rita.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, out of all of them, he's like a god. He has to put up with the shit of his like cousin and his goons. He's family. He's family. But he also does get shit done. Yeah. He's the closest to getting the Master Cable.
He did get the Master Cable.
For a second, and then it gets taken back.
For a second, and then Rita grabbed it.
Yeah, then Whitey and what's-his-name take it back, capture her when she gets back.
And he's the one who puts up most of a fight, even when everyone, like, when the fly happens and all the other frogs get caught, he's smart enough to be like, no. Even when his cousin does, like, brings his tongue out on the phone. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to say about him. His voice is well done. He's a fun character. He's very
French,
chill.
But, you know, that's fine.
Yeah.
At least he's, like, an actual French, though. I read that. Yeah, like, it is, like, Sean Reno, I think is how you pronounce it, but, like, you know, it's an actual, like, French person.
Okay,
so
that's good.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's not francophobic, okay?
Oh, I don't care about that. Sometimes that accent can be a bit too much.
The Toad, oh my god. He's insane and so fun to
Ian McKellen.
He's so good in the role.
He hammed it so hard. I super appreciated him for that.
Yes, every time he was on screen, you didn't know what to expect.
I'll be honest, like, when I watched the movie, I wasn't laughing all that much, but, like, as time was, you know, we finished the movie and, like, I was sitting on it, like, the performance really stuck.
He actually won like an award for his acting in this movie.
Really?
It's an Annie Award, so it's like an animation award. We're not talking the Oscar. But, like, he's a very memorable...
Yeah, imagine.
It's a
the Oscar goes to Ian McKellen for The Toad. Huzzah! An Oscar of quality.
Does this mean you got a puppy?
No!
No puppies!
Oh.
Oh my god. And at one point, like, you don't realize how crazy he is, because, like, I like how, like, him and Roddy bond at first.
Yeah.
Because they're both from up top.
The whole reveal that, like, Toad he used to be owned by
Charles.
By Prince. No. It is King Charles to you. It's just like it's so very British to just pick on like the ugly son.
But like it's so funny too because like he's like they wait so long to tell you that, so you're just like, oh, he's a simp for the royalty. And then they're like, nah, he was Charles. It's like, okay.
He was Charles, and the pictures of him and Charles doing all the things together, I just couldn't. It was so funny.
And it's just so like they drew him so ugly that like Prince Charles. It's so funny.
They have him like eating meals together.
Yeah.
Like eating the apple both like squatted down on the ground.
Like again, his plan is insane. Like he just wants to kill all the rats.
He's maybe the most batshit insane villain like from early DreamWorks.
Oh,
probably.
I mean.
I have to think about that.
I'm
oddly enough, he's not the first.
Is like for insane. Yeah, nobody really. I guess the closest for insane would be Over the Hedge.
Oh God! Right, I forgot about Over the Hedge.
Yeah,
I was gonna say.
Like also kind of Chicken Run, like towards the end when she's like climbing on the ropes on the plane with the axe, like maybe. Yeah, I love that by the way. But like,
I mean, I hate to say it, this isn't the first time in a DreamWorks movie where someone tried to flood a bunch of people.
What's the other one?
Ants.
I forgot about ants.
I thought you were going to say Prince of Egypt.
No. Well, yes.
That's a force of nature.
Hey, to be fair, it was God. Oh my God, God did it.
That happened in El Dorado too.
Oh yeah, God.
What is it, DreamWorks?
What is with DreamWorks and flooding people?
Jeffrey is just like my parents. Oh, my parents.
Watch. Yuda flood.
Yuda flood.
Oh,
I'm so glad nobody said you the rat. I'm so glad.
This is an Aardman movie, not.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god. I didn't realize floods were such a
Yeah,
hazard
we
in
watched these
DreamWorks
movies. How
movies.
did we not pick this up?
How did we not pick it up? Literally. But now I'm just picturing Prince of Egypt, like the crowd of waves going over the Egyptians, and all of a sudden you hear.
The DreamWorks god got it.
The tidal waves are coming back in. Ramesses just goes, freeze the wave!
Breathe away! Wave! No, giant wave!
Ramesses gets like the ice machine and freezes the waves.
I really like that by the way, the payoff that like
Yeah.
they introduced the liquid nitrogen earlier, like just for like the freezing thing. You know, it's like it's a good sequence.
It's a cool way for someone to like dispose of their enemies.
Yeah.
He has a nice collection, and it has some good visual gags with the nun.
And the nuns and Han Solo. Like, do you see Han
I didn't
Solo?
see Han Solo.
Oh my god! I didn't see Han Solo.
Yeah, Han Solo's back there.
Good eye.
I have to give credit to like one YouTube channel that found that put in like, did you know in Flushed Away?
Who's making this? Because I'm not making this content. I'm like the biggest fan of this movie.
Well,
There's like 5 of these fucking videos, and I watched them all.
well, you better start making that Flushed Away
Yeah,
content.
for real. For real.
Someone find me a ROM of the GBA Flushed Away game.
Oh god, that exists.
Yeah.
I can probably
Oh my
find it.
god, there's like there was a whole bunch of tie-in games for this. I had the GBA one when I was a little kid. Favorite game.
Hold on, is I'm not surprised. Oh my god, this is a fun episode. I'm having fun. I don't know if people are gonna like it as much as we do, but I'm having a good time.
That's how I feel about this movie too, so I understand.
I that's basically all the characters to really talk about. I don't want to talk about. Well, for Random Watch tonight might be a bit of a sour point. I don't know, but I would like to talk about the animation.
Yeah, it's great, but there's an elephant in the room.
Yeah.
The
So
CGI
is
is
this
very
is this the point where I butt in?
Yeah.
Well, as if I've not been butting in. I guess this is the point where I have to. Yeah, let's start adjusting this. This is an Aardman film, and there's no stop motion. They did try. They actually like if you really look at the mouths especially, you can tell that they did try to do like a very like choppier quote unquote like technique with the mouth to make it look more like Aardman. Otherwise, yeah. So, this was actually supposed to be stop motion. They were, planning stuff out. They were working through this. They introduced this idea to Jeffrey Katzenberg while they're working on Wallace and Gromit. They say, hey, we're gonna do this movie about rats. And Jeffrey's like, absolutely, I love that. And then sometime later, they get it. They're still like developing stuff, and they're still trying to figure out. I was like, oh, how are we gonna do water? Because water is so difficult to do with stop motion. How are we gonna work with like these giant sets that we'd have to somehow make this like Ratropolis? Ratopia. I forget what it was. What the
It was like Rat City, wasn't it?
Yeah, they were literally just Rat City.
I think that the original title was Ratropolis, but to get to the point, oh yeah, it is Ratropolis, yeah.
Oh.
They get a call from Jeffrey or an assistant saying like, nope, we gotta make this CGI. And it's like, what? Huh? Why? And oh god, let me see if I can. So, the whole point of Aardman is stood proudly as a company that produced stop motion animation, and then it seemed that Jeffrey had heard it on the grapevine that his rival animation company, Pixar, also had a rat-related movie in development.
I was just about to ask if this was about his bitterness with fucking Disney.
It would
Yes,
be
it
called,
It always is.
It would be called Ratatouille, and so they said Jeffrey said, like, not only does this have to be in CGI, but you're gonna have to move the production to California so that we can, because, and they point this out in the Aardman movie. They list ants and Shark's Tale in the Aardman movie, in the Aardman book. Both of those movies came after the film that they were reacting to, although like ants came like barely before, and it just kind of made them both look like weird in the end. But like this time, like Jeffrey's like, we gotta beat them to it first. We gotta make them look like chumps. They were adamant that like, if you're not moving production, you were not making this film. Like they just had to settle on it. And really it was kind of a grumpy experience. Like they, as a film, they're proud of it, but they just did not like making it, because the fact that they had to move it to California meant that they had to do like remote work. They had to keep doing like video calls, video meetings, and not only that, but because it's in California, that means old Jeffrey can start like popping in every day and just being like, what about this, and just start like intruding more and more than he could have working on like Wallace and Gromit and Chicken Run. So it's just kind of got miserable for them, and that was the breaking point. That was the point where they just like, and not only that, but like I found out that like right before, like when they were working out like Wallace and Gromit, like Jeffrey really wanted to like own the rights to Wallace and Gromit, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, that's like the last thing they would give up.
Like they were just, I guess like DreamWorks was just kind of surprised that a company would say no to that. So like it just became a sour experience, and like they did the best they can. They still enjoyed it. It was still pretty successful, but it was not what they wanted it to be.
I mean, at least they made the better rat movie.
I wish I watched Ratatouille again to make that judgment call, because
honestly, I didn't think Ratatouille was that great. So I'm kind of with you.
I think. I mean, not that I was.
Ratatouille is more about the humans than it is about the rats.
Agreed.
Oh, well, okay, that's actually, if we're talking about specifically like movie about rats, which one, like the rat parts of this are definitely better than the rat parts of Ratatouille. I agree.
Yes, and also not Ratatouille. Flushed Away has Tom Jones.
I appreciate
Ratatouille didn't give me money,
but I can appreciate Flushed Away a little more in that it's just sort of like, what is it like living under the humans? Not like, what are the humans?
It feels like something early Pixar would do, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I can see that. Like, it's not. They would be like, what if rats had feelings? But I don't think it would be like nearly this funny.
No, it would not have been. It would have been Pike's Life, but with rats.
I've made this comparison in the past, but like DreamWorks is Warner Brothers, Pixar is Disney.
They were just kind of like really annoyed at Jeffrey. They were talking about like the whole experience where they're like, there'd be like 20 people and all of them like diving in instantly, like critiquing what they just seen. And like, I don't mind criticism, but in the studio, it just became a forum for showing off and scoring creative points with the boss. So if Jeffrey said, good note, it was a major accolade, and I hated all of that. We wouldn't do that in Bristol. We'd watch, consider, and take our time before reacting. So it just became like a very like sour like environment, because everyone was trying to impress Jeffrey. It was like, oh, I have this complaint. Oh, well, why is it? Why can't London be more like New York? There's too many. Why can't you? Why just have some Americans in there? Although I do like the Americans a lot. The
Americans like forced my accent out, and like, no, I've got a really bad like Southern accent. I did years of voice trying to get rid of it, and then second they speak, I'm like, shit.
That was so. They were like trying to watch the soccer game, and it's just like, hey, pick it up and throw it.
Well, look, I don't claim them.
Now I'm just thinking about all the visual gags and like at the end where the wave happens and then a surfer comes out and is like, no.
With the American tourist, like the husband, he had a shirt on that said "I like steak."
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
There were so many visual gags, like so many like background jokes in this movie.
Yeah.
They like all the ads that they had like a drink that's called Stagnade, or the God, what was there's one that it's really hard to see. It's really small and it only shows up in one moment, but like they're introducing like a rapper named 40 Pence. It's good. That's good. I like that.
Oh, there's a lot of if there's one thing Flushed Away does right, it's the jokes.
Yeah,
it really is so funny.
Aardman.
It does feel like a step down a bit from Curse of the Were-Rabbit.
I think everything's a step down from Were-Rabbit. It feels like because that's
honestly.
I like even Were-Rabbit feels like a tiny bit of a step down from like Close Shave, but like everything feels like a step down from Close Shave.
You know what's a step down from Close Shave?
The toilet.
The timer.
The toilet.
Shut up, Brandon.
We usually say the timer at the end of that.
Yeah.
So if you're wondering,
the timer.
I was just wondering if you would say it.
I was very confused.
The timer.
Kiria. What do we say, Kiria?
What do we say?
Every podcast. You don't watch us? How dare? No, I'm kidding.
Cheese.
Cheese, grommet.
Cheese, grommet.
I feel like we talked so much that we didn't get you the chance to talk about your favorite movie. We will do this now because at the end of this, we usually are like say our final thoughts on the movie.
Yeah.
Do you want to go last or first?
I'll go last. Oh god damn!
Okay.
The accent's back.
Jay,
It's
just
the
keep
darn
saying
Southern
cheese and that British accent. Eventually, the two will cancel each other out.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't do a British accent.
Jay.
I don't talk fancy like that.
Jay.
Jeez. All right. In that case, who wants to go first?
I feel like this needed to be somehow it needed to be even funnier for me to like really like it, because right now I think I just like it. The main problem with Roddy. Roddy is just not very endearing on the whole. We barely talked about him. Which is, like he's very much central in this, and he's not central in this movie. It's about like everything around Roddy, which is just you can see just how much work they put into like fleshing out this sewer society. They put in so many great gags. They put in so many great little Easter eggs. If they had realized what a gem they had with the mafia subplot, they would have put everything into that, because that's both way funnier and it's the better story. Like it's just go all out on that. Like the romance, not really working. It's the whole point, but you're not really doing it that well. In terms of ranking, this one was hard for me. It's not. I don't think it's as good as Chicken Run, and I don't know. I wasn't sure whether or not it's better than Madagascar. I think it barely is. I think it's barely better than Madagascar. It's so creative. That's if nothing else, like the movies can just be like whatever. But if nothing else, like Aardman, they put everything into making this like as sharp and as memorable as it can be. It's like good on them. Appreciate it.
I had a lot of fun rewatching it again. Again, Roddy and Rita, they're fine. They work well together. I like them better together than apart. But what makes it for me is the mafia subplot and like the villains. They are just so funny, and just they really add on to the comedy. Although honestly, the comedy everywhere else is good too. Like the rats, we barely talked about Rita's family, but they're great. Everything has their funny moments. We even talk about the humans and the idea and just the joke they have about like England losing the World Cup because of penalties.
No, it's like the setup to that is so funny, because they're like winning like 3-1 at one point. Like Roddy even said, England is winning, anything is possible. And like when they go to the TV, you can see like the German goalkeeper, he's facing the wrong way, and the English player, it just kind of like gingerly like kicks it into the goal. It's like okay, and then like they go to halftime, it's like 4-2. And then, like at the very end, it cuts to a newspaper that says England loses on penalties.
It's so good.
It's perfect.
Perfect.
It still applies today. England, you still suck.
We apologize to all our English viewers here.
Oh. I'll be in the middle. I'll be the one in the middle.
Yeah. I really like Flushed Away. I thought it was funny. I have it pretty high up. It's like out of the 13 now films we've ranked, it's number 6 for me. So like it's below Shrek, above Road to El Dorado, which I held high.
It also is number 6 for me, weirdly.
Yeah, I really like it. I had fun with it. Still not the biggest fan of the slugs, but they don't bother me too much. I will watch this film again. If I was given the chance. I really think it's a lot of fun, and now I just want to see all the background stuff and around. Oh my god, there was a Finding Nemo reference.
Yeah, that's right. Have you seen my dad?
Have you seen my dad? It's so
I love that
fucking
bitch,
great.
by the way.
Yeah, like that is like a dig to Disney. I will allow.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
allow
so
it because
great.
it's not DreamWorks. It's Aardman.
Yeah, it's Aardman doing it. All right, that's all I have to say. Flushed Away, good. I liked it.
So when I finished the movie, I was actually pretty down on it. I didn't dislike it, but I actually felt pretty similarly to it about how I felt about Over the Hedge. Like it really wasn't that high up. I was not so much disappointed, but null, I guess, is how I would describe it. But I sat on it for a while. I was thinking about it. I mean, I said this already, but Whitey and Spike were, just perfect all the way through. Everything else, they carried the movie, and everything else wasn't so great. So I actually had it below El Dorado, which is pretty low on my list. It was like, Over the Hedge was the one that was right underneath it, and the one underneath Over the Hedge is like Shark Tale, so pretty low. But like I said, I was thinking about it. I guess I don't know if it's the Aardman charm, but it's like, it was kind of warming up on me, and then the more we were talking, the more I was like, this movie's a lot better than I gave it credit for, actually. It really kind of, I don't know if it was talking about it, it's just me warming up to Aardman, I don't know, but it really did win me over. I can understand why in the Aardman documentary, they go into such detail about Chicken Run and Wallace and Gromit, and for Flushed Away, they say, oh, people thought the story wasn't that great, but we did a new thing with the CG and we're proud of that, and then they moved on. I get it.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
But it's still a fun time. Unfortunately, I did change the ranking as we were talking. I put it right below Chicken Run, right above Ants. I know Wash is like, yes!
Finally!
The only bummer is that puts it at number 7 for me, not number 6. I'm sorry, you two.
Aww.
But there is no way you're going to get me to say that I like this more than Chicken Run. It's never happening.
Chicken Run's the best.
Right.
This is the best telling of a Holocaust story. So
yeah, I mean that's a way to.
It's the Great Escape, but with chickens.
And the chickens, they're revolting.
The chickens, they're revolting. Finally, something we agree on.
Like we talked about in the Chicken Run, like the first 20 minutes and the last 20 minutes, like those are both better than Flushed Away.
Yeah. And I would say that most, if not the rest of Flushed Away, maybe not like Roddy, but the rest of Flushed Away would be better than the middle, I would say.
I like Flushed Away better than Chicken Run personally, but that's just me.
It's close with Chicken Run, but what matters is that Wallace and Gromit cremates them. Like it's not.
Yeah.
Even...
Oh yeah.
Oh yes, of course.
I like Chicken Run more than Wallace and Gromit.
Ooh, well, I mean, great movie.
Okay.
But for me, Wallace and Gromit just floors both of them. I loved Where Rabbit. I rewatched Where Rabbit, like in between Over the Hedge and this. I rewatched Where Rabbit. I was like, why not? And I'm like, Shay. But yeah, no. But overall, my point is, this movie has Spike and Whitey in it, so it's like, really, how could I not think it's really good?
All right.
I think we can all, the three of us, can at least agree that this is definitely like somewhere in the middle. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's around where I put it at least.
And now Kiria is gonna lift us up.
Yep.
Go
for it.
Gush.
So, I haven't seen this movie in about 15 years, and this was a great opportunity for me to revisit one of my favorite movies of my childhood. And it still holds up in my opinion. Like, there are definitely flaws. As much as I love it, the slugs are kind of annoying. Like, I talked a lot about loving them, and I still do. They are just a tad bit annoying. It has pacing issues. Has a lot of pacing issues.
Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about that. That's true.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, it's a fun movie. Like, it's something you could like just throw on and just tune in and out. And it's gonna be fun the entire way through. Sure, it has its downfalls. But when are we getting our flushed away 1.5 cut where it's all the frog?
Oh man.
That is a deep cut to a Disney direct-to-DVD movie.
I was about to say, like, Lion King 1.5 reference.
That budget has any credit.
Honestly, don't make it about LaFrog. Make it about Spike and Whitey. They should have the
honestly
that would
1.5.
fit better with Timon and Pumbaa. Yeah,
LaFrog could be in it more, of course, but like, come on, make it about those two.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge DreamWorks person. I'm more of an Aardman person. And as far as like my list for Aardman movies, I put this top 3 behind Chicken Run and Were Rabbit, obviously. Like, but it's like neck and neck with Pirates. I love
Pirates.
I need to see Pirates.
Love Pirates so much.
Maybe a one-off?
That'll be a one-off because like I said, they stopped working with DreamWorks, so
Yeah.
has nothing to do with it.
There's the episode. We did it.
We talked about Flushed Away, and
it was really fun.
The podcast ends here, right? We don't have the next episode coming. That's it's done here, right?
We do have another episode coming up. Well, Kira, you don't have to watch it. You're spared.
Do you know what's next, Kiria?
Oh god, if I'm taking a guess, it's probably at this rate either Shrek 2 is probably around this time, or I
wish Shrek 2 was next.
No,
I wish Shrek 2 was next.
Shrek 2 was 2004. We just finished 2006.
Yeah.
So 2007.
We can watch Shrek 2 again. Are you guys okay with that?
Please,
is this one of the DreamWorks stinkers I'm like deleting from my memory?
Well, you were close.
Yes.
Yeah.
You were close.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not the first. Oh, it's Shrek the Third then, right?
Shrek the Third.
That's
next. God, watch Shrek 2 instead. I'm sorry.
I'm more than happy to watch Shrek 2 again.
All right, in our next episode, we will talk about Shrek 2.
No, it's the extended cut of Flushed Away.
All right, well, I'm really looking forward to the next episode, actually, because we're going to have Kiria on, a special guest. Looking forward to that.
Oh, God, no! I can't do that.
It's all right. You will be spared from Shrek the Third. You will be spared. Shrek the Third can't hurt you now.
I'll gladly come back for whenever y'all decide to go do all of Aardman.
Ooh.
If we do Pirates, we might give you a call.
Definitely
for sure.
After this, before this, I was like, "Oh, Aardman's cool. We can just watch their stuff, whatever." I'm not opposed to Aardman's spectacle.
It's only DreamWorks where we really learn to appreciate Aardman.
Yeah, if only Jeffrey wasn't such a dick.
He still would. I don't keep up with them.
But there's so many fun stories.
That is true. That like part of what makes this podcast fun is just how bizarre it is behind the scenes.
It's
like this guy.
You get really good movies, really bad movies. That doesn't matter. You get Jeffrey.
It doesn't matter because he's still in the background and just like, how do we make more money?
And he's gonna be in the background for a very long time. But until then,
before
this
we
concludes our episode for Flushed Away.
Kiria, where can we find you and your wonderful self?
Yes.
Twitch.tv/Kiria Nebris. If I am correct on that, I am not sure anymore. I have not streamed in like a week. Shit's been sideways.
Her link will be in the description below.
Yeah.
Somebody please remind me to put the link in the description below.
I will remind you if this doesn't when you're editing. But yes, go follow her. She's great.
No, I'm not.
She's been a wonderful guest. What?
No, I'm not. I'm a stinker.
You made talking about Flushed Away much more enjoyable than I thought it was going to
be. Yeah, no, absolutely. This is fun.
Now, watch Plug.
If you like what you listen to, you can go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/WRK Podcast. where you can comment and subscribe and all that, and click the bell. I'm thinking about the toad again. I'm thinking about his scrapbook. And if you're like,
be sure to follow the channel.
and also follow us on Twitter at twitter.com.
No, do not follow us on Twitter. Who knows if it'll be around at this
Got my
point?
legs straight.
I mean, you follow us on Twitter if it's still around, sure, but like...
Twitter.com/WRK podcast will let you know when the next episode comes out. And you can listen to us and subscribe to us at WRK.simplecast.com and wherever else you may get your podcast. That's all I needed to say.
Yeah,
You saw the opportunity and you took it.
By the way, we were talking about close shave. Did you notice Gwendolyn was in this movie?
She was?
Like in the opening, like Roddy was like sliding down the DVDs, which by the way had like all of the DreamWorks movies. So this movie also they put Shark Tale in this movie.
Did you notice the plushies? There was
Alex.
There was the rabbit
Yeah,
from
I saw
First
that.
Away Rabbit. There was Gronet.
Yep.
Gronet also has a Pez dispenser, and Roddy has a Wallace outfit.
Wallace outfit. Yep.
You see, Jeffrey saw what Pixar was doing. He was like, I can make us Easter eggs too.
We'll put all the Easter eggs in one movie.
We'll put all the Easter eggs. We'll put Sinbad in there.
Sinbad is good. I like Sinbad.
Oh.
Oh god, hopefully they didn't ruin the recording.
Look,
So Claire
okay.
just left. Well, that was Claire. I am the wash.
I'm...
Claire left the call because of what Kiria said.
Look, okay,
So-
the villain was hot.
Well, I think
Okay,
we
yeah,
might have
that's
messed
true,
up the
that's true.
recording on that one, but I am.
We're done. We're done.
That was Millicent. That's Kiria. Thank you so much for being here. Do you have any? Claire is back. I don't know if this is gonna even make it, but Claire, do you have anything left to say?
I saw the opportunity and I took it.
Look, the villain is hot in Sinbad, okay?
Good night, everybody!
Good night.